Unless Nintendo drops something this year, I think it's safe to say the OG Switch is all but spent for Zelda games, so let's go ahead and rank them. For this list, I'm only ranking the Zelda games available to buy for the Switch and not the games available through the NSO, as it wouldn't be fair when you've got games like this. Ranking this series for the Switch is tough, as I do love Zelda, but for the purpose of a ranking video, choices do have to be made. Starting off is Cadence of Hyrule. Now, even though this is technically the bottom of the list, this game was such a pleasant surprise. At first, I wasn't sure about mixing rhythm gameplay with Zelda, but it works so well. The music is fantastic, of course, and moving to the beat feels surprisingly fluid once you get the hang of it. I love the colourful retro art style, and it's fun to explore Hyrule in a new way. It can be tricky at first, but the challenge is rewarding. It's not your typical Zelda game, even though it feels like it could be, but if you're into rhythm games or if you want something different, it's definitely worth checking out. Next up is Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I was really happy when this game came out on the Switch, as I didn't get to play the original. I used to play Dynasty Warriors a lot when I was younger, and as a Zelda fan, it's awesome getting to play as so many of my favourite characters from across the series. Getting all the extra content and DLC makes it feel like a complete experience too. It feels like a love letter type celebration of the series, all packed into one game. It's definitely one of those games when you want to dive into Hyrule and just let loose without worrying about puzzles or exploration. For what it's worth, I thought Skyward Sword on the Wii wasn't bad and was happy an updated version was coming out on the Switch. The work that was done on the remaster was great and really enhances the game a lot. The visuals look really good and the updated controls make the motion-based combat much smoother. It's got some great characters and some really solid dungeons within the game. I really love the story and the vibrant world, even if it's a bit more linear compared to the other Zelda games. Overall, it's not my favourite Zelda game, but it's still a fun and memorable adventure that's definitely worth playing, even just to see the beginning of the Zelda timeline. At number 5, I've chosen Echoes of Wisdom, a Zelda game where you get to play as Zelda. I was a massive fan of the art style from the Link's Awakening remake and was dead excited to not only see it used again, but in Hyrule this time. The overworld, the music, the top-down view just screams vintage Zelda to me. I love the classic style dungeons, and with the Echo ability to summon items and monsters, it really gives this game a sense of freedom when overcoming things, much like something akin to Tears of the Kingdom. The amount of possibilities and creativity that's given to the player is very good. Yeah, it has some slowdown at times, but with the amount of fun you can have in this game, you barely notice it, to be honest. A prequel to Breath of the Wild? Yes please? Much like the original Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity is such a fun action-packed game, but rather than being a celebration of the Zelda series, this game serves as a starting point for the Breath of the Wild story, all leading up to the Calamity itself. It was great to see Hyrule and all the characters, such as the 4 champions, even getting to play as them with all their unique abilities in battle. It's a great accompaniment, and even though it doesn't have the same open world exploration as Breath of the Wild, it's still a great experience. While yes, it does have some slowdown here and there, what do you expect when you're facing hundreds of enemies at once? From prequel to sequel. At number 3, I've chosen Tears of the Kingdom, which is absolutely incredible. As a sequel to Breath of the Wild, it takes everything that made the original amazing and pushes it further. The world feels massive, especially with the addition of the Sky Islands and the depths. There is so much to discover, and those new abilities like Ultra Hand and Fuse, they're game changers. You can get so creative, whether it's solving puzzles or coming up with clever strategies in combat. It makes every challenge feel quite unique. The story is just so good, with some great moments that really draw you in, and lore that adds so much depth to the Zelda universe. The characters feel more developed than ever, and the music and atmosphere tie it all together perfectly. Sure, the mechanics can feel a bit overwhelming at first, but once you get the hang of them, experimenting and trying new things becomes part of the fun. Honestly, this game feels like it was crafted with so much love. In second place, I've chosen Link's Awakening. This game for me has a lot of importance for me, as it was one of the very first Game Boy games I had from back in the day, and I fell in love instantly. The Switch version is honestly one of the best remakes I've played. It takes everything great about the original and makes it feel fresh, while staying true to itself. The art style is like a little toy diorama, with every character and environment crafted with so much personality. The whole game has this vibe that's hard not to love. The gameplay and the controls are nice and simple. The dungeons are awesome, as they should be in every Zelda game. The story still has that quirky, mysterious charm that keeps you hooked, and the music is stunning. The work that was done on the soundtrack was incredible and only elevates the game further. I look forward to the day when we get a remake of A Link to the Past, or even the Oracle games in this engine. Fingers crossed. So of course that means at number 1, you've guessed it, Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is Breath of the Wild number 1 when Tears of the Kingdom does everything better? And you're right, it does. It improves on most things. But what Tears didn't have is the impact that this game had. I love Tears of the Kingdom to bits, but Breath of the Wild was a game changer. It was fresh and new for the series. From the moment you step into Hyrule, you're given this massive, beautiful world to explore with no limits. The level of freedom was unreal. I mean, it completely redefined what a 3D Zelda game could be. It wasn't just an adventure game anymore, this was something else. It always felt like you're in control of your adventure, and I was always hooked when discovering new things. I'd compare this game to something along the lines of the GTA games, where you could just spend hours and hours on end just having fun in the game world before realizing, oh yeah, there's a story mode to play as well. The gameplay is just really nice and fluid, and I love how creative you can get with combat, with the puzzles, and even exploration. The story's compelling, though pretty subtle, but it fits so naturally into the living world that it's in. The graphics are gorgeous and the art style is beautiful. It makes every part of Hyrule just worth checking out. Yeah, the weapon durability system was a pain at times, but it taught you to be resourceful. This is one of my all-time favourite Switch games and one of my all-time favourite Zelda games. Tears of the Kingdom did a phenomenal job as a follow-up, but I can't wait to see what's in store for the series moving forward. So how about you? How would you rank the Zelda Switch games? Do you agree with my order? I'd love to hear from you, so let me know in the comments. But for now, thanks for watching. If you like the content and want to see more, be sure to like, subscribe and all that stuff, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.